Hello. Yo, I'm here. On time. I'm a Zulu woman who's on time. What is going on? Why am I sitting strange? Okay. Why am I sitting strange? Okay, the Zulu woman is on time. Why am I sitting strange? Am I sitting strange? No. I think it's just because I'm looking at my camera strange. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, beautiful people. Oh. Good morning. How are yous? How are yous? I think that the microphone wasn't perfect yesterday. Or maybe I'm just a perfectionist and I just have to deal with the American training. Thank you, America. You know me, love you long time. Thank you, America. You know what? I cannot not thank America. America was good to me. Yeah, America was good to me until I kind of outgrew. But truly, America was good to me. It was really good to me. So, good morning, visionaries. How are ya? I'm alive. I'm beautiful. I'm awake. I am intelligent. Wisdom is flowing through me. And I love myself. And I honor myself. And I'm just perfection unfolding. I'm just perfection unfolding. How about you? I'm perfection unfolding. I don't know. This doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. How about this? Is this better? Yeah. This is so much better. I gotta fix this. I gotta work on this. I am working on it. Okay. I don't know. But I'm working on it. Just something like this. But, you know, in due time, it will work itself out. In due time, it will work itself out. I prefer these little mics, you know, like the lavalier mics. But I got a system going here. So, let's have a conversation, a little chitty chat. You know, I love my little chitty chats. I don't like this. You know, I like my little chitty chats. My chitty chats. My chitty chats. My chitty chats connect us. What's happening in the world? What's happening in the world? Yeah. Before we start, please make sure that you purchase the Truth Seekers Detox on Amazon. Link is below. Please make sure that you like and subscribe, okay? But please make sure that you purchase this so that you can go through it. I have, what I usually read is the morning section, the morning awakening section. There is the afternoon integration section, and then there is the evening reflection section. So you're missing out if you love the morning section and you are just like, sure. If you love the morning reflection, the morning awakening session that we have together, you'll love the afternoon one because you are working or living your life between morning and afternoon. If you are aware of yourself, you plant the great seeds straight up in the morning, and then you watch yourself, you just observe yourself all the way until lunch. Then you can see whether you've grown or what needs to grow. And then you've got another part between lunch and dinner. And you can grow between that time. And then by the time you get to the evening reflection, you're like, I kind of grown. I kind of have grown. Yeah. Okay. So I have to tell you that I'm not always reading. I read the afternoon one, but the evening one I haven't. So now I'm actually gonna start going deeper into the evening ones. But it's been really good to just read the morning ones. I think let's breathe. We need to breathe. This is what I was thinking. I had a really great one planned for you. I was like thinking we'd tap into the infinite. It would be really great to tap into the infinite, but I think we really need to breathe. We need to breathe. Breathe. We can tap into the infinite after the reading. Okay, so please gently close your eyes. Roll your shoulders back. Roll your shoulders forward a few times. Yes, it's good to roll your shoulders. Roll your shoulders back, forward, back, forward. Just feel your body. Just feel your body. Just feel your body. Ooh, just feel your body. Just feel your body. Just feel your body. Just feel your body. Ooh. Okay, neck. Please turn your neck to the left. Slowly turn your neck to the right. Neck to the left. Turn your neck to the right. Gently close your eyes and keep your eyes closed, and we are going to start breathing. Okay, so I'm going to beat the drum, and you're going to breathe to 9 beats of the drum, and then 9 beats hold, and then 9 beats sigh. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold the breath for 9 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's let it out with a big sigh. That feels so good. To just let out the breath. Just let it out. So many of us are walking stiff with trauma and anxieties and all sorts of these labels that we give ourselves. Oh no, we're not doing that here. We are breathing. Okay, let's start again. Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Let's let it out. It feels so good. It feels so good to just let out the breath. Let's go. Again, breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Now let's let the breath out with a big sigh. Oh my God, that is just so refreshing. So refreshing. 2 more. Let's go. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Let's hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, we went for a while. Let's let it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. One more time. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's breathe it out. Sigh it out. Good. Thank you for participating. You can open your eyes now. Thank you for participating in the breath. Thank you for participating. If you have anger issues, that kind of breath, that breathing technique, it does something. It does. I swear to you, when I was in deep rage, like this was like a rage that I didn't even understand, I used to just go out into the desert and scream into the void of the desert. When I was in anger in the jungle, I used to just go outside and scream, and like I would stop, pull off, in the part of the jungle where no scooters, no cars, and I would just scream, like honestly scream like nobody's business. So if you don't have that sacred space to go outside and just scream and just let it out, because maybe you're not a nature person, which I don't understand why people are not nature people. You live on planet Earth, but city lifestyle, I can honestly say I've been touching trees when I go out, but I haven't been to the park. I've been to the park a few times, but I still make sure that I touch trees. I just like touch the bark of the tree. And I'm just like, I'm still here. Even though I'm living in the city, I'm still here. I'm still connected. When there's sun, I go out and greet the sun. Bangkok does not have many sun days lately. It's like when the sun is out, it's like it's a blessing. The sun's out. But yeah, still grateful. If you are having trouble with overthinking, that breath work is really good for overthinking, because for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, all you are engaged in is taking oxygen into the brain and breathing out carbon dioxide, as we would say in Africa. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. Yes. Okay. So anger issues, hang on, practice that breathing. Overthinking, practice that breathing. A little stressed out, practice that breathing. This is what happens when you work with a high-level Sanusi. I got the answers. Because why? I lived the hell. So I remembered how I got myself out of this hell. Okay? So you can trust. Just practice. Okay. So this week's reading, we're in chapter 8. The purpose you're too afraid to claim. That is the title of this week. So we're on day 51. Spiritual purpose. So yesterday we talked about financial purpose, right? So we talked about financial purpose. Today we're talking about spiritual purpose. The sacred mission, abandonment. Ooh. I have not denied my purpose. Your spiritual purpose is the unique way your soul chose to serve the divine plan through this lifetime. But you deny this purpose by staying small when you're meant to expand, by hiding gifts you're meant to share, by pursuing personal healing instead of planetary service. You treat spirituality as self-improvement rather than soul mission, forgetting that you came here not just to awaken, but to serve awakening. Sister Grace has powerful healing abilities and profound spiritual insights, but keeps them private, claiming she's still working on herself and not ready to serve others. She's been preparing for her spiritual mission for 15 years, attending every workshop and reading every spiritual book while her actual gifts remain unused. Her denial of spiritual purpose has turned spiritual growth into spiritual narcissism, endless self-development without service expression. Denying your spiritual purpose creates a split between personal transformation and transpersonal contribution. You became spiritually sophisticated, but relationally irrelevant, personally evolved, but practically ineffective. Your nervous system knows you're meant for more than endless self-improvement. It's designed for contribution, service, and meaningful participation in the collective awakening. This came through me, okay? Embodiment practice. Feel into your spiritual gifts, the way you naturally heal, inspire, teach, or serve others. Notice what happens when you imagine sharing these gifts more widely. Does your body expand with excitement or contract with fear? And say, I honor my spiritual purpose through service. My gifts are meant to be shared, not hidden. Okay. Okay. I wrote this. I wrote this. My frequency wrote this. I wrote this. Okay. Your spiritual purpose is the unique way your soul chose to serve the divine plan Your spiritual purpose is the unique way your soul chose to serve the divine plan through this lifetime. But you deny this purpose by staying small when you're meant to expand, by hiding gifts you're meant to share, by pursuing personal healing instead of planetary service. You treat spirituality as self-improvement rather than soul mission, forgetting that you came here not just to awaken, but to serve the awakening. Okay, let's have this conversation. Why do we deny our spiritual gifts in the first place? Why do we do this? I want to know. Why do we deny our spiritual gifts? Put in the comments below. I want to know. I'm going to wait while you put in the comments. Think about it and then you can put it in the comments. I can tell you for myself. Depending... Okay, maybe this is a limiting belief. But depending on how powerful your spiritual gifts are, and how many lifetimes you've had these lessons and been developing these spiritual gifts over many lifetimes, continuations of lifetimes, you unconsciously remember the harming and the wounding that you experienced as a soul over many lifetimes. So the people that you keep meeting, the people that keep trying to kill you, the people that reject you, the people that harm you, the people that mock you and laugh at you and make fun of your spiritual gifts, your intuitive abilities, your insights, and then steal from you, and then it backfires and they want to come back and then lie and all sorts of these things. Okay, these were people that you were with in your past lifetimes. And they probably did the same thing in a past lifetime. So in this lifetime, you had to meet these people again. Because remember, we've been talking about it, that God does not die. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So these people just keep cycling until you get the awareness that you're supposed to get by being in these relationships and being with these people. You get the awareness. My dad knew that he was going to die. He said it to me in 2018. He said, they are going to kill me. But here's a Mont Blanc pen. Write. You are good at writing and you are so good at speaking, but you have got to speak the truth. They are going to kill me. But remember, I will be there with you for all of eternity. Well, he didn't really say that in those words, but he says, nothing is going to happen to you. I will be there with you. But they are going to kill me. He knew that my mother was going to kill him. He knew because he told me. And he was like, they're going to kill me. And they're going to lie about it. So he was already prepared for it. Can you imagine what kind of a visionary that is? And he's like, but continue. Here's a pen. Continue. I'm giving you high-class pen. It's a Mont Blanc. And that was gangster. He had a collection of Mont Blanc pens because when he was super successful, making a lot of money before his spiritual awakening, he used to collect like expensive watches, expensive suits, expensive pens. But pens were his thing because my dad was a reader and a writer. He loved writing and he loved reading. He read so many books, so many. I think that's why I just love reading books. I used to check out 21 books every 6 weeks. I did that for years. That's why I loved America and I didn't mind paying my taxes in America, because there were so many libraries in Las Vegas that I used to just run around and go and get 21 books here, maybe 10 books here, another 10 books here. And if there was one other book that I was missing, I would run and find another book at the library. Sundays were my days to go to the library every 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, to just go get 21 books. When I was living in New York, it was the same thing. I used to just run around to all these libraries in New York City and just go and take books out, check out books. And on the train, I was reading to work. I was listening to audiobooks. At work, when I was working, I was listening to audiobooks. Yeah. So all the people that you have had growth experiences with and you haven't finished that growth experience with that person is going to show up in this lifetime, because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. And it is your growth work to either end those relationships, close out those chapters, learn what you need to learn, and get on with the business of living your life, your soul purpose, and why you're here. So the reason we take time to embody, accept our gifts, do our work on this planet is because, number one, we have a lot of fear around what happened in previous lifetimes. Because it's not parallel lifetime, it's not past lifetimes, it's parallel lifetimes, because energy does not die, right? So your previous lifetimes are your current lifetimes, it's just parallel. Because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. There is no linear. Especially when you're on the spiritual growth and you're like moving ahead, sideways. It's non-linear. So that's why a lot of spiritual people, especially high level spiritual people, seem disorganized. And you know, the focus fools were like, oh, but like you're so disorganized, until they focus, stuff starts backfiring on them. They're like, oh, I guess the disorganization is really a genius way of moving around. Because yeah, you can achieve all of these things by being a focused fool, but when they start backfiring because life is change is life, then you don't know what to do, because haven't given yourself a bigger picture. You haven't zoomed way out and looked at the bigger picture. And what seems like disorganization for a lot of geniuses is actually progress. I know that I cannot be manipulated easily or trapped into stuff because I've tried so many things. I've tried so many different jobs. It seemed disorganized. I've worked with so many different people. I've sat with so many different people. I talk to all sorts of people. A construction worker on the side of the street. I talk to an elderly person. They will tell me their stories. I talk to CEOs. I talk to janitors. I treat them the same. To me, you're a human being. You're breathing. Except if you're kind of like very low in consciousness, not meaning very low in like the kind of work you do or where you live or how much money you make. That to me doesn't matter. For me, it's the character of the person. Like if you're just... I spoke to a friend of mine yesterday and they said I mustn't call people stupid dum-dum, so I'm not doing that anymore. you're just foul. You have no morals. Yeah, that I cannot take. You're just foul as a human. Yeah, I just don't. I don't. But geniuses and visionaries seem disorganized because they are learning from the collective. They are learning from so many different experiences because they fundamentally understand that life is non-linear. Growth is non-linear. The reason I say focus fools is because one of the greatest shamans, Zulu shaman, he has transitioned, but of course energy does not die, cannot be created nor destroyed. He's still alive. He's still very much alive. He said, he used to say people are fools. Fools. So in South Africa, in Africa we call people illiterates. Illiterates. It's an African thing. In Africa we call people illiterates or fools or okay, I say stupid dum-dums, or what is the other word? Jim come to Jersey, meaning you come from the farms and you come into the city and you don't know what to do when you come to the city. Some of the people that come from the farms or from the rural areas are actually smarter than the city people, because the people from the rural areas understand the laws of nature, they understand the laws of life. But the city people, because they think that they are smarter and they are more high class, they look down on the rural area people, on the people that come from the farms and stuff like that, right? So we would say in South Africa, Jim, the name of the person would be Jim, come to Jersey, which is Johannesburg, right? So like if you're from Idaho or from the middle of America where they grow potatoes or something like this, and you land in New York. I used to see them when these people, when I was living in New York, they would just be like, they would just be so enamored by the buildings downtown New York, on Wall Street area. They'd be just like, and I'm like, get out of my way. I need to get to work. Get out of my way. You just blocking traffic. Like, I need to get to work. But I was in a state of productivity, burnout. Productivity, burnout. I digress. Jim come to Jersey. So when you hear me say when you hear me call people focus fools, is that they have a very narrow mind. The ability to explore outside of their little box. They haven't developed that skill. So yes, they can seem very successful until life changes, and then they don't know what to do. They really don't know what to do after that. This is when the moral failure starts. The real character, the who they truly are inside, shows up. The theft and the lying and all sorts of this stuff, because they're focused fools. So one of the greatest shamans in Zulu, people in the Zulu tribe, used to call people present day fools. He called them present day fools. Do you think I've been a present day fool? Yes. Do you think I've been a fool at times? Yes. The reason you're going to love being here is, I laugh at everything. I don't take trauma very seriously. I laugh. Yeah, I mean, there's the pain to trauma, there's the hurt, and there's the confusion, but I laugh at it. I just laugh through it. I don't take it too seriously. That's why I don't take these labels too seriously. I have ADHD, I am neurodivergent, I am autistic, I am this D, that A, that I don't take these things too seriously, because I am none of these things. I am the face of divinity. I am wholeness expressing itself. I am purpose revealing itself. I am abundance seeking expression. I am joy expressing itself on a daily basis. That's why we get to laugh here. Sometimes when you go to therapy, okay, I understand, therapists get you to become stable. But if there's no therapist, you must come here to the South Africans. You see, the South Africans, we just laugh. You can see somebody hanging on a tree, okay? And we go, wow, what is what a story. And then we drink. I'm not sure how healthy that is, but okay. This is how we kind of like work through trauma. You can see a car accident, cars piled up, people dead on the street. You stop and you go, oh my goodness. And you just keep going. We just laugh through it. I don't know how effective that is on a long term. I don't think it's really, really effective. But this is why I'm grateful that I went to America and studied psychology and was able to go through my own knocks, bam, 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 and get up again and go, whoa, I'm invincible. I'm immortal. I do not die. Okay, on that note of I do not die, the reason we're afraid to walk in our purpose is because we remember the lifetimes when we were harmed for our spiritual gifts. And the people who are mocking you in this lifetime, the people who are laughing at you in this lifetime, the people who are trying to kill you in this lifetime for who you are, your spiritual ability, your insights, and all of it is people from a previous lifetime that you haven't finished that cycle with. As soon as you finish that cycle and you say no more to this, I don't care what happened. Let dead people bury each other. I don't care. It's not my problem. Sorry. Not sorry. It's not my problem. Your spiritual gifts just turn way up. I can sing, and I know that when I sing, and if the intention is clear enough, things are going to happen. Because I finally said to myself, enough. Enough is enough. I refuse. I will no longer have these cycles open. I refuse. I will not keep coming back and being born into the same toxicity. I refuse. It's only when that refusal and the level of self-respect and the level of self-love and the level of self-honor was more important to me than loyalty, than love, than loving and belonging, which is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay? It's the middle part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. When I say enough is enough, I will not. My self-respect, my spiritual gifts, my ability to complete my purpose in this lifetime without getting killed is more important than anybody else's problems. This is when my spiritual powers, my spiritual gifts started strengthening. They were like, I said, when I beat my drum, last year I was beating my drum and I was just like, bang, bang, bang. And I was so angry, which is energy, right? But I was beating my drum so much and I said, I'm going to see what is going to happen. First, number one, I said, let me tell you something. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are going to win. And everybody's like, no, Kamala Harris is going to win. I said, I know what I know. I've been on this planet many, many lifetimes. I know how this game is going to end for y'all people in America. Okay? It's like, no, Kamala Harris is going to win. No, Donald Trump and Elon Musk were the show. And then I was making videos and I said, these two are going to create so much havoc. Y'all not going to know what hit you. I said, these men are going to have guns. There's going to be a lot of men with guns on the street. I'm telling you, this is your trajectory for 2025. It was like, oh, she's crazy. She doesn't know what she's talking about. This is what you're living, Americans. This is exactly what you're living, what I spoke. But maybe America was a previous lifetime that I needed to close out. Wow. But I love America. I just talked myself into an awareness. Yeah. So what I'm sharing with you, and the reason I'm sharing the story with you, is not because I'm some seer or some psychic, or it is because when you close out chapters and you say to yourself, I refuse to engage with people who function at a very low level of human consciousness. I refuse to be around people who just want to go to nightclubs and need to find a man to make love to me so gently, any of this rubbish. I refuse. This must get out of my life. I would rather walk alone. I would rather sit alone. I would rather just listen to the birds and let the sun tell me what's going on. Okay? This is what I did the whole of last year. You become so tapped into universal wisdom, and you can see things, you can know things, and you can see patterns way before the general public sees them and knows what's going to happen. I have been able to predict a lot of things with such accuracy, but I didn't trust myself because I was around a lot of noise, just like present day fools. They couldn't see anything. And then when I realized, oh my God, these people don't see anything. And instead of being curious and asking, they're not at the level of consciousness where understanding is a thing. Learning is a part of their repertoire. They're not, and they're wasting my time. I need to get away from these people. But try getting away from people like this. Oh, they'll create a nightmare for you. Because they live in a lot of fear. It's something. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is that when you have the confidence and the courage to listen to yourself, and that might mean that you spend a lot more time with yourself, you will know the secrets of the universe. The universe will give you its secrets. It even says it in the Bible. You will know the secrets of the universe, and whether they laugh at you, and whether they mock you, or whether they say you don't know what you're talking about, you'll be able to stand in your own truth. It's not going to be easy. Oh, it's not easy. Sometimes it makes you feel like you're crazy, okay? But this is the nature of human. It's just the nature of human. But what I am going to say to you is that you need to walk, be able to walk alone, be able to stand in your truth and live on it and stand on it, no matter what happens. And when it all starts collapsing and it's falling apart, and you can just say, I told you so. I told you so. But you're hurting my feelings when you say that. But I told you so. So this year, I'm not predicting what's going to come in 2026. I don't have to do that because I did it in 2025. And now we're just going to have a continuation of this at an accelerated rate. Why do you think I know this? And I don't have to predict everything that's going to come in 2026 because I lived through Apartheid 1.0. So Apartheid 2.0 is just going to be more intensified. And this was just the start. We're only at phase 2. At the beginning of phase 2, we haven't even gotten to the middle of phase 2. Right? The middle of phase 2, I haven't received the download. We are at the middle of phase 2. No. We're still at the beginning of phase 2 and everybody's crying. They are up in arms crying. I'm not sure what's going to happen when we get to phase 5. I have no idea what's going to happen when we get to phase 5. Actually, I do have an idea of what's going to happen to phase 5, but why put out that negativity? But it's not negativity, it's truth. Okay. So that is the reason why we treat spirituality as self-development and soul mission, forgetting that we came here not just to awaken, but to serve awakening. Because serving awakening means you're talking to people who mock you, who laugh at you, who isolate you, who reject you. And then when, the rubber meets the road, when it starts backfiring, they want to come. Please help me. No, I won't. No. Why should I? I only work with those that have gone through their own hell. Honestly, this is what I've come to understand. Until somebody has gone through intense hell and they are like, maybe in the void, in the Bible, they call it the wilderness, right? So if you're a Bible reader, Jesus went into the wilderness. Most prophets went into the wilderness. But quantum physics, let's say, anthropology will call it the void, right? So until you are in the void, or you've experienced collapse, or you've gone through the void, I don't want anything to do with you. And you as a visionary should be this way too, because these people will waste your time. They just want the end result, but they don't want the work it takes to get to the end result. They just want all of the wonderful things at the end, but the work it takes to get there, they don't want that, which is the work of becoming, which is the work of building character. And if you take these people on and just drag them with you, they will destroy you, because they have no brains. They haven't developed the neurosynapses. Just when I say they have no brains, I'm telling you for reals that they have no brains, because they haven't developed the neurosynapses to be able to think themselves out of problems, because they've always had somebody they could ride on. And so if you take them along, they will make really bad choices. Oh my God. And they will expect you to fix these choices, the bad choices that they've made, or be responsible for the consequences of these bad choices. Oh, hell to the no. Why would you want to put yourself in a situation like this? Let everyone walk their own path. And even if they don't make it in this lifetime, it's not a big deal. God does not die. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. If generations of souls are just lost, it's not a big deal. You are not God. The universe, the field, God consciousness knows itself. It knows itself. It knows how to manage what it is created as itself. It knows. We are just a speck of dust. If you think of all the galaxies and the planets and the stars, we are just a speck of dust on this earth. But we are very important to the whole cosmos, to the galaxies, right? To other planetary systems. We are very important here on planet Earth. But honestly, we're just a speck of dust. And yet we think we're so important and so brilliant. There are other life beings, other life forms that are more advanced than we could ever be in this current state of what we are as humans. We are 2-year-olds having emotional meltdowns. 2 to 5. Emotional meltdowns, manipulation, lies, scheming, theft here, kill here, sex at the graveyards here, all sorts of the strange things. And I'm just about to, what happened here? But there are other beings that are far more advanced than us. So, if you're a very high being and you have just been always on the spiritual path or into pattern recognition, quantum physics, and you're just kind of a strange one, you know, you're kind of a loner and you're kind of strange and you're kind of weird, and they've labeled you with all sorts of these labels: ADHD, neurodivergent, autistic. Tell them, Teacher Tembi, she be like, don't label me. I am divinity expressing itself in uniqueness. Yes. Because you know why they want to label us? They want to label us because they want to box us. So if they give you a label ADHD, you must behave this way, you must behave this way. Yes, you probably have different ways of thinking. Your brain works in a different way, but who cares? Figure your way out. Figure your way around life. Don't label yourself so that people can keep you in a box. Oh, you're neurodivergent, you should feel bad, you're disabled. What? Disabled how? I predicted what's happening in America 2025, and I said this is going to happen. Apartheid 2.0. Welcome to the show. And it's just beginning. So maybe I'm neurodivergent, maybe I'm autistic, maybe I'm ADHD. Who cares? I predicted this. Okay? So don't worry about what people say about you. Okay, so Sister Grace has powerful healing abilities and profound spiritual insights, but keeps them private, claiming she's still working on herself and not ready to serve others. I was like this for a long time because of the laughter. We remember the laughter in childhood. We remember the bullying in childhood. Even if your family was the ones that laughed at you and bullied you, you're so sensitive and stuff like that. These are the very same ones. You must cut them out. Cut them out. Okay? But we remember that mockery. It's in your body. Really, it is in your body. Your friends that mocked you in school, okay? It's sitting in your body. It's those memories are there. Where do you think they go? They don't go anywhere. They sit. And until you observe them and notice and remember those memories and let them come up to pass away and let them teach you what what you needed to learn in that moment of pain while they were mocking you, laughing at you, abandoning you, rejecting you. And for me, I sat in the jungle for 3 years, and I was remembering all of these instances and these times where people would laugh at me and mock at me. And then it finally occurred to me that I was very advanced for a lot of people in South Africa. A lot. Very, very advanced. So was my dad. Very, very advanced. But we didn't have a container for the insights that were coming through. Even like I'm sharing with you, like the very high level Zulu shaman. People came to his house, burned down his house. And he was like, this man was hella smart, okay? Like a savant. Savant. My dad is also a savant. Like crazy smart. These people in South Africa burned down his house. They beat him. They killed his wife. It's like... And all he was doing was predicting the future, sharing with South Africans how they need to help themselves, heal themselves, so that South Africa could be a stable country. These people, they beat him. Can you imagine beating a savant? Can you imagine beating a person like who's this man? Steve Jobs, who brought in iPhones. You can say iPhones and phones did, harmed humans or whatever, it doesn't matter. But this man was a pretty incredible genius, no? Right. Can you imagine beating him, burning down his house, killing his wife? For what? He's a savant. He's a genius. But this is what Africans do to their geniuses and their savants and the people that are there to actually help them progress in life. This is why Africa is what it is. I'm just saying. So don't feel sorry for Africans. Don't feel sorry for any country. Why? Because you don't know the energy and what they do to their savants and their geniuses. Don't feel sorry for anybody. Feel sorry for yourself and put the mask on yourself first. Yes. Because you know why? What happens when you do that is you start accepting your own spiritual gifts. You start seeing the genius inside of you. You start healing your own traumas. You start accepting your own magnificence and your own brilliance and your own joy and your own ecstasy. And then you become the living example for others without having to take them on as charity cases. Yes. Okay. And you get to heal your past lifetimes. Okay. And as you heal your past lifetimes, you empower your present lifetime, which empowers your future lifetimes. Because if you heal your past lifetimes, okay, we'll just call it parallel lifetimes because they're happening simultaneously. You get to empower your present lifetime, meaning you get to get rid of these people. They just go away. And then after that, it empowers your present lifetime so that you can fulfill your purpose in this present lifetime, which when you take your last breath, you will take your last breath in a state of ecstasy, meaning you will never be around these people ever again, because the assignment or the lessons or the awarenesses and the gifts that you came to embody within each other, activate within each other, is complete. It is finished. It is complete. And then you can just move on and you can meet beautiful people next lifetime. Yes, this is the power of this work. So that's why you must come here and sit with me. Okay. So let's go on. She's been preparing for her spiritual mission for 15 years, attending every workshop and reading every spiritual book, while her actual gifts remain unused. I was here for a long time. Honestly, I gotta tell you, I was here for a long time. Her denial of spiritual purpose has turned spiritual growth into spiritual narcissism. Maybe I'm a spiritual narcissist. Maybe. I don't know. I don't label myself. Endless self-development without self-expression. So, without service expression. I am now living my purpose. I can honestly tell you, it started like last year this time, well, October, where I just started speaking. I said, I don't care if I am mocked or laughed at, but they will see what is going to happen. The world is experiencing Donald Trump on steroids. The world is experiencing the combination of Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Peter Thiel on steroids. You're living it. Every single country, because they got you with either the USD cuts, US aid cuts, or they got you with tariffs. So, call me a spiritual narcissist. But no, not really. It's because last year I finally decided I am going to speak my truths. I am going to live in integrity. And what Spirit tells me to speak, I will speak. And when Spirit tells me, shush, keep quiet, do not speak, I will not speak. Yes. So I encourage you, if you are tapped in and you are hearing, but sometimes, we think it's us speaking and it's not really us. It's our trauma. We think it's spirit speaking and it's not really spirit. It's our trauma. It's our unhealed aspects of ourselves. It's our unhealed ancestral lineage. That's why I didn't get initiated in Africa as a shaman, because I realized no, African ancestors are traumatized. A lot died in pain, crying, poverty consciousness. Many died in very low levels of spirituality. Why would I want to take this on? Why? I was initiated directly by source. Directly by source. I refuse. Oh no. Grandmothers, no. I love my ancestors, like my grandmothers, my father, but I come from a high lineage already as it is. But even some of my grandmothers and grandfathers, they died in pain. I don't want to take that on. That energy, why? I transcended all of that. And in me transcending all of that as a shaman, it meant that I got to free them and the pain that they died in. Because in Africa, when you get initiated as a shaman, you take on some grandmother's spirit. No, thank you. And a lot of these shamanic trainings, this is how they open you up. Oh, listen to your ancestors. What ancestor? The one who died in pain? The one who died in poverty consciousness? No, thank you. No, thank you. My ancestors are the stars. And when you connect with that kind of ancestry, my ancestry is God consciousness, okay? When you connect with that level of ancestry, it uplifts these ancestors that died in poverty, that died in pain. So you are very powerful. Don't allow yourself to get initiated and listening to ancestors. Oh my goodness. Don't allow people to take you down this path, because you'll be confused, very confused. You'll find yourself at graveyards. Okay, so denying your spiritual purpose creates a split between a personal transformation and transpersonal contribution. You become a spiritually sophisticated but relationally irrelevant. I've noticed that about myself at times. Personally evolved but practically ineffective. Yeah. And doing these live streams has been really helpful, because I realized that as I speak about my journey, I am realizing, I am effective there, I'm effective there, I'm effective here. My spiritual transformation can be effective or beneficial to these kinds of people, people who have experienced collapse, loss of a job, lost someone. Most of my work is grief work, because if you honestly, if you're not able to overcome grief or walk through grief with grace and purpose, you're not going to come back from this. So I've really come to that understanding. I'm the grief lady. I never wanted to be the grief lady, because who wants to talk about grief? It's like so unattractive. It's not sexy. This is what my husband was saying to me. He's like, Americans don't grieve. In Thailand, the queen died. The king's mother died. So the great queen. And the government employees are meant to grieve for a whole year. Okay, the whole of Thailand is meant to grieve wearing white or black for a whole month. So they understand grief. In Africa, it's the same thing. 1 year of grief. You shave your hair and you sit on a mattress and you cry and you wear black the whole year. 6, 9, or 12 months. But Americans don't understand grief. And I think that's why my ancestors were like, you need to go to America and go talk about grief. That's why I married an American. Okay, so let us complete. Your nervous system knows you're meant for more than endless self-improvement. It's designed for contribution, service, and meaningful participation in the collective awakening. Through our collective awakening, there is going to be a lot of grief. There is a lot of grief. There is. Not it's going to be. There is a lot of grief. We can call it trauma. We can call it depression, anxiety, but all of that falls under grief. It's in the umbrella of grief. It is in the umbrella of grief. We are all grieving. We are grieving the transition between a teenagehood to young adult. We haven't been initiated in these stages. Even in South Africa, people don't get initiated anymore, right? In America, they have the Sweet 16 and the Bar Mitzvahs and the Mexican one, Quinceañeras or something like this. I went to one. It was so beautiful. My brother invited me to an event like that. And the dresses were so beautiful and they were dancing. And this young girl was celebrating a Sweet 16 birthday. So, but very few cultures, like I haven't been to a Sweet 16 beside that one. But around the world, these practices are falling away. So most of us are uninitiated. So we're grieving that. We're grieving the transition from high school to adult, a young adult, which is college, from young adult to adult. That is a transition that you go through. That is a death of self. It is a death of self. We're grieving. I was just recently thinking about it. I'm grieving my single days. Because sometimes I say to my husband, oh my God, when I was single, it was so much easier. I didn't need to consider somebody else. I would just do whatever I want. Now I have to consider somebody else's feelings, somebody else's wishes. So at times I realize I didn't grieve the stage of singlehood to married woman. I just went through that stage, and then I'm just oh man, I really miss being single, but I really love my husband. So how many of us have not grieved this? Most of us have not grieved if you've gone through a divorce, the divorce stage. Most of us have not even grieved our heartbreaks from high school. So the nature of human is change. And change brings a lot of grief with it. And if we haven't sat with the job losses, the parents who have died, the dogs who have died, the cats the pets who have died, the friendships that have ended, the money that has been lost, the dissolution of the awakening to false beliefs we've had. When you awaken, to some beliefs you've had that have caused pain in your life. Oh, the grief from that. The money you have lost, the opportunities you didn't take because you were playing small so that you can make other people feel comfortable, the self-abandonment. Oh no, grief is the nature of who we are. Yes, this is our thing. Okay, so collective awakening is grief. Because what is collective awakening? Change. Change always brings grief with it. Okay, so feel into your spiritual gifts, the way you naturally heal, inspire, teach, or serve others. Notice what happens when you imagine sharing these gifts more widely. Okay, for me, I was like, oh my God, nobody wants to talk about grief. But I've made grief kind of sexy. Okay, does your body expand with excitement or contract with fear? A part of me still contracts with fear. Honestly, I'm telling you the truth. I'm not lying to you. Because I'm just thinking, oh, people who are grieving, they are depressed, they are angry, but it's the nature of transformation. And now that I'm complete with mine, I'm just like, okay, I can have compassion for this, but evolutionary compassion. Evolve. Do not sit there and be just wanting to tell you sad stories. In fact, life does not care. The universe does not care. It needs you to evolve. And these are the kinds of conversations that I had to have with myself, because it's so comfortable to sit in your grief and you want people to come and comfort you, but nobody was comforting me. You know, my husband even got tired. He's like, enough with your complaining. So I was like, okay, I gotta get out of this. Okay, does your body expand with excitement or contract with fear? Say to yourself, I honor my spiritual purpose through service. My gifts are meant to be shared, not hidden. My gifts are meant to be shared, not hidden. So, today I would like for us to, 20 minutes would be good. That was a lot, right? You know why I share a lot like this? I was having a beautiful conversation with one of my friends yesterday, and we were sharing with each other that not very many people hear people tell truth or have really insightful conversations. People lie in therapy for the first year. They just lie. Because we're not used to telling the truth. I don't know, as a species, like, truth is something that we just not used to telling. And I think I've remained friends with this incredible guy, because he was one of my first clients that just told truth for what it was, and he had no shame. I was like, wow, what an incredible man. Just truthful. Very truthful. I appreciate people who are truthful. Actually, my husband is that truthful. He's blunt in his truthfulness, but very gentle. But I really enjoy people who tell truth. I can't take fake and lies. Like that, it makes my blood boil. It really makes my blood boil. And I hate myself when I'm around people like that. I really love people who tell truth. Truth is liberating. Truth is so powerful. It's really, really such a powerful medicine. So what are we going to do today? Opportunity? It's not that we don't know whom to serve. We have fear. Why? Because we were mocked and shamed. That's going to take like an hour and a half to work through. So we're not going to do that. We're afraid of what? What are we afraid of? We're afraid of being called crazy. Or we're afraid of being seen as crazy. I've met a lot of people 40 plus. 40 plus. The young ones will pull their cards, and I've seen them with their crystal balls on YouTube, and I'm like, wow, this is quite beautiful. But 40 plus, 50 plus, like most people I spoke to a guy who was 75 on the road. Yeah, I just met him on the road, and I told him, you're a shaman. He looked at me, as like, huh? I was like, yeah, I can see it. He was like, huh? But I found that like 40 plus, 50 plus, a lot of souls like that haven't given themselves the opportunity to embody and embrace that insight and that spirituality. I look at the young ones on YouTube, and they are busy with some of them I'm just like, wow, blind leading the blind. But who am I? I'm not pulling cards. Sometimes I ask, I'm like, where are they channeling this information from? It's like blind leading the blind, but they're doing their thing. They've got massive followers, so you can't knock that. Honestly, you can't knock that. But I found that some of us are afraid. I've been doing this shamanic work secretly for a long time. I just used to get paid a lot of money to do it. But I never just outrightly said that I was a shaman. But I used to just practice shamanism under my clients. The executive coaching shaman. So what are we going to do today? Let's do tapping into the infinite. Yeah, tapping into the infinite. I think when we are supposed to go on our afraid of our intuitive knowing. Because if you embrace your intuitive knowing, people need you to have it logical. It needs to sound logical, right? Because we've got a left brain and a right brain. So the intuition is very right brain. It's very right brain. And a lot of humanity hasn't even begun to respect right brain functioning. A majority of humans are crippled. They live based on their left brain, only left brain, because the school system is designed to create factory workers who are can think to a certain extent and not question and not move beyond left brain thinking. So that has been the programming for humans for a long time. So right brain activity, the brain is not very developed in the right hemisphere of the brain. There aren't enough neurosynapses in the right hemisphere of the brain. So we're afraid of our intuition. When your intuition starts speaking to you, you doubt it and you poo-poo it because you're afraid that people are not going to see that you're smart. Because what society values most is left brain coherence. But most of us are crippled because we are only functioning from the left brain. So let's go into our intuition. Yeah, let's go into our intuition and value our own intuition. Because when you can balance both hemispheres of the brain, the left with logic and the right by respecting the intuitive insight that comes through you, you are powerful. This is why I was sharing with you that I predicted what was going to happen 2025 last year, around at about this time. I said this and this and this is going to happen. I predicted it because I just started trusting my intuition. So can you imagine having that level of sharp clarity? You can predict it and say, pfft. Okay. So now I know that my intuition is right. So going forward, I just serve my intuition. Okay, so how do we get you to trust your intuition? Tap, tap, speak. Okay. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, so we're going to tap into the infinite. Just listen to the sound of the drum, and I will lead you through this, okay? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do body work. Okay, let's go. Please gently close your eyes. Sit up straight so that you can be focused for this. And just start breathing while listening to the sound of the drum. Iskubu. Keeping your eyes closed. Continue breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Now, I would like for you to come on a journey with me. We are going to walk together. Imagine you are in a desert, barren, hot, but just hot enough where it's comfortable. Imagine you are in the desert with me, and you're walking with me. And you have enough water, you have enough snacks, you have everything that you need in the desert. And we're just walking, we're just taking a walk, going nowhere. We just are in awe of the vastness of the desert. We are in awe of the peacefulness of the desert. And we're just walking. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hurry to. We're just walking. And as we are walking, the sun sets and nightfall begins. So as a community, as we are walking, we decide to stop and create a campfire. The desert cools, and the campfire warms our bodies. We sit around the campfire and warm our bodies and drink a hot chocolate, our chamomile tea, eat our sandwiches, drink our water from the long walk across the desert, and get comfortable for a night ahead of stargazing. We are going to look into the vastness of the night sky. First, we are going to start by counting the stars. So as we look up with our hot chocolate in hand and our chamomile tea and our hot drink, as the desert night envelops us, we look up into the sky and recognize that there is an abundance. An abundance of stars, so many beautiful stars, some closer than others, some farther away than others. And as we look at each other and look back up into the sky, look at each other and look up into the sky, we notice that we can't count the amount of stars, meaning we can't even count the amount of galaxies and planets, because in the void of the desert, the night sky of the desert that we are in, it resembles the black hole that scientists have found, that just keeps birthing more stars, more galaxies, more planets. It is endless. It is infinite. So as we look at each other and look up into the sky, look at each other, drink our coffee, drink our cocoa, drink our hot chocolate, drink our chamomile tea. We affirm to each other that there are infinite possibilities here on earth, because the earth is a mirror of the infinity in which we come from, the star nations. So as we affirm this truth to each other, by gazing into each other's eyes and looking up into the sky and gazing back into each other's eyes, we come to this awareness that our spiritual purpose is vast and there are infinite opportunities to fulfill the gifts of divinity that we came to share here on planet Earth, because we come from the stars. We are of the stars. We are of the heavenly realms. So as the stars have their unique place in the sky, in the Milky Way, in the beauty of the night show, as we sit in the desert together, in front of the fire, drinking our hot chocolate and our chamomile tea, we recognize that there is a place for us to shine as brightly as the stars that we see above. And whatever seeming pain, whatever seeming circumstance that made you believe that your gift, the brightness of who you are, or how you're meant to shine on this planet, that seeming hurt, that seeming rejection, that seeming pain, was just a redirection away from what no longer serves you anymore into the most evolved version of yourself. Sometimes growth requires pain, because we are at a level of consciousness here on planet Earth where we haven't evolved to a place where we choose to grow through joy. We haven't reached that stage yet. So majority of the times, it's going to take pain. So, the circumstances, the people that created pain, and you are not innocent either of this creation of pain, but in this circumstance, in this situation, let us look at the people that created pain, seeming pain. Bring them to your mind's eye. Just think of one person who doubted your intuition, who doubted your perspective, who laughed at your dreams. Bring that person to remembrance, whoever it is, maybe your mom, your dad, your auntie, your grandma, your school teacher. Just bring one person to mind. with the awareness of the vastness and the intelligence of where you come from. You are of the stars. You are the face of divinity looking back at itself. As we sit in the desert together, being warmed by the fires, as we look up to the stars are looking back at us and saying, you are one of us. So with all this awareness, look at the person who hurt you. And please repeat after me. Thank you. For releasing me. From an energetic pattern that no longer serves me. Thank you. I forgive myself for believing that you were here to destroy me. I now acknowledge that I am the cosmos, looking back at itself. I am the face of infinity. I am the vessel of ecstasy. I am the creative expression of the universe. And I forgive myself for ever believing that you could define me or define my experience here on earth. Thank you so much. The contract is complete. The awareness I needed from our engagement is activated. Your purpose in my life is complete. I thank you. I honor you. And I release you from my energy field. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a great life. Good. Good. I'm really proud of you. Okay. So now, what I would like for you to do is come back to the here and now. Still in the desert, feeling the warmth of the fire, looking back up into the sky, knowing that the stars are looking back at you going, wow, you are so beautiful. You are so intelligent. You are one of us. Shine like one of us. Because we believe in you. We believe in you. You are one of us. So now I would like for you to turn around, come down from looking at the sky and look at me. Awakening, coming to the here and now. And as I beat the drum, sound of the drum, We're going to breathe into the here and now and leave the desert and awaken to this present moment. Inkanyezi ziyabonga, siyabonga. Taking a deep breath in through your nose for 9 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold for 9 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Exhale with a big sigh. Please open your eyes. How is that? I'm thinking, I love these tapping into the infinite because you just go bigger. Go bigger. Okay. So, if you're going to continue with your day, please have a beautiful day. Remember, I love you long time. You are the stars, you are the cosmos, you are the universe looking back at itself. You come from beauty, you are beauty, you come from the infinite wisdom and intelligence that creates galaxies and planets. And oh my goodness, you are just this freaking amazing. Like, truly, honestly, you are this. Okay? You are this true freaking amazing. Okay? You are meant to shine like the stars, like the stars, like the stars. And as I do and practice these tapping into the infinite work, meditations with you, I'm actually working on myself. So we're on this together. Okay? We're on this together. This is the beauty of collapse. When you come back, you can create a path forward. You say, I'm creating a path forward. When you're collapsing a year from now, there's a path forward. So please practice this. Whenever you feel like you're being judged, you don't trust your intuition, understand, if you practice this, just what we practiced just now, zooming out, and recognizing where you come from and who you really are. I mean, most of these other things are just irrelevant. It's like, what? You tried to hurt me? Really? No, I'm from the cosmos. I'm from the universe. Okay? I am the beauty of the universe. You can say this about yourself because it's true. Don't say anything else. Okay? Don't accept anybody to say anything else about you. The truth is, you are the beauty of the universe revealing itself. Okay? God could not exist. Well, God could exist. God is existing without your permission. But you are the presence of divinity. And God needs you to know itself. Do you know how profound that is? God needs you to know itself at your best. Your most geniusness, your most creativeness, your most boom, your most wisdom. Like, God could not know itself but without you. The universe could not know itself. It honestly, you are the beauty of the universe looking back at itself. Can you imagine? That is just touch me deep. Touch me deep. Touch me lovely. Okay, we love you long time. See you tomorrow. Bye.